Let's get this over before lunch. Floyd Rose of the Homicide Squad has decided to take early retirement. We will all miss Floyd and the steely edge he brought to his police work. The department has arranged a wee drink at the Galway Arms to quench the mighty thirst a man gets from 25 years of police work. Floyd's departure leaves a place at the top table, and the chief has seen fit to promote Cole Phelps from burglary to the homicide desk. Stand up, Phelps. Take a chair. You're in the major leagues now, Sonny. Rusty Galloway, a fine lawman of the old school, will be taking you under his wing. Your first case is the murder of a woman, found last night and bearing all the signs of the werewolf. Get out to the scene, lads.
What happened to Rose?
Parker wants the chief's job. Word is it's either going to be him or Thad Green. So they're both clearing the decks.
So where does that leave you, Galloway?
Leaves me saddled with a chump like you, Phelps. I didn't ask for you, and I don't want you, so keep it to yourself. See if you can learn something about seeing how a real cop operates.
What did he mean by the werewolf?
Medallion. The Daily News came out calling him the werewolf killer. The Examiner came up with the Black Dahlia.
Are we any closer to catching him?
Not a chance. 6 months and hundreds of guys running down leads, and we got nothing.
You don't think this has anything to do with it?
No, I don't. 90% of murders are domestic, Phelps. Some guy gets into a beef with his wife, he takes it too far. This will be the same. But cutting someone in half and leaving them off the sidewalk, it's a one-off.
So many women this year.
That alleyway leads to the rear of the building, sir. Someone's gonna have to climb up and take him down.
Good luck. Don't let him get a beat on you like I did.
Cop killers are the worst kind of stuff, man.
You're fucking coming!
Won't help console the officer's family, but these guys are done.
How about a scoop for the Examiner, Galloway? You could use some good press.
Another tramp, another message. Is the werewolf back in business, boys?
Do you have a mother, asshole? A sister? How about showing some respect for this poor woman? Let us do our job, and Detective Galloway will give you a statement later.
He's good, Rusty. He even sounds genuine.
That's Phelps, guys. The war hero. Defending the honor of murdered humps.
You're used to it, Phelps. Moving along, guys. You got your pictures, you got your headlines. Now scram.
Carruthers.
Phelps, you make homicide?
Looks like it. Galloway has been making me feel welcome.
I bet he has.
Has the scene been secured?
Patrolman Houlihan saw to it. The victim's personal effects are still where they fell.
Interesting. What does the writing on the victim mean?
BD, Black Dahlia, Tex. Your guess is as good as mine. Could be something to it, or it could be the killer's trying to throw you off the scent. Either way, I'll run tests on the lipstick.
Any idea of the time of death?
From the temperature, I'd say after midnight. I'll confirm with you later.
The werewolf?
For my money, a copycat.
We can't rule it out. We need to work the evidence.
You'd love that, wouldn't you? A big head to hang on your wall. The caller of the decade. I've been working evidence on BD case for 6 months and got nixed.
There's a difference, Rusty.
Oh, yeah?
I just started working it today.
Okay, hotshot. What's more likely? The werewolf comes back around, leaving us a note on the corpse?
He clearly has a thing for power. Power over women. Why not power over the police department as well?
Let me finish, Phelps. A guy opens his mouth again after 6 months of stewing. Or some opportunist who's been reading about the BD figures, he'll rip off the MO and get himself a freebie.
That's not totally fantastical.
Well, the Examiner and the Daily News might be good at coming up with monikers, but they're terrible for police work. There's a reason we didn't get the son of a bitch after the short murder. It was them, locusts.
Where do you think the werewolf killer is now?
Dead by his own hand, stationed somewhere else with the armed forces. San Quentin, another town, another country, who knows? So, Phillips, I understand you want to turn this into a big case, but it doesn't work like that, all right? A case will come and find you. You can't make it something it ain't, understand?
So you don't think the werewolf has continued to operate in the Los Angeles area?
No chance. We would have found him.
Gentlemen, what can I get you?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. Were you working here last night?
Yes. How can I help, officer?
You can start with your name.
Garrett Mason.
You're the regular bartender on nights?
I'm a temporary barman. I work for an agency. I fill in at bars across town.
Do you remember a woman who came in here last night? 5'7", about 110 pounds, blonde hair, about 40 years of age.
You mean Celine Henry?
Yes. Do you know anything about her?
I don't. But the owner, Mr. McCall, serves her most nights. Would you like to speak to him?
I would.
He sits at the back of the club. Wears a hibiscus. You can't miss him. Is there anything else?
Inquire away, Phelps. I'll stay here. I'm a little parched. Pour me 3 fingers of rye.
Where's that goddamn waitress?
A waitress?
Detective Phelps, LAPD. We're investigating the murder of Celine Henry. Do you know her?
Celine? Oh, Christ.
Going to pay for that?
Sure I know her. She and I and Jacob, her husband, we go way back.
She was here last night?
Sure, she's a regular. Celine was a lovely woman.
Mrs. Henry appeared to be missing a ring, torn from her finger, but not her wedding finger.
Celine always wore a red garnet ring on the large side. Larger than life, like Celine herself.
Did she have it a long time?
Sure. Since way back in her flying days.
Did her husband buy it for her?
No, it was before Jacob.
I think you know where the ring came from, and I think you're going to tell me.
Okay, I bought it years ago. I carried a torch for Celine in those days. Guess I always have. Her old man never knew about it.
You know the husband?
Sure I know Jacob. He was in the Corps. He met Celine on a furlough and married her when the war was finished. He put up with a load of shit.
Do you think he killed his wife?
No. No, not in my opinion.
So if it wasn't Jacob, then you probably let her out of here with the guy who killed her. How do you feel about that?
Stow the attitude, will ya? I tried to get onto Jacob. I rang him up. Asked him to come pick her up like usual. But he refused. And she picked some night to push him over the edge. I rang him back around 11:30, but got no answer.
Thanks, Mr. McCall. You've been a big help. One more thing. Would you have an address for Celine?
142 North Union Avenue. God knows I had to send her home in enough cabs to remember that.
He drove me up to Mulholland. And we did some...
Let's get out of here.
Hey, what's the hurry? My stool was just starting to warm up nicely.
You find the booze helps you get through a working day?
Sharpens my investigatory instincts, Phelps.
A smart lawyer might use that to throw out anything you collect today.
A smart man might know it's unwise to stand between the patient and his medicine.
As long as you're not falling over, Rusty, I'll let it slide.
That's mighty kind of you, Phelps. You know, you picked the wrong job if a healthy thirst offends you, Cole.
We owe it to this city to do the best we can in this position. As homicide detectives, that responsibility is all the more serious.
Always the politics. Cole!
No way I'm going down without a fight.
Drop the weapon, hands behind your head.
Yeah? Fuck you too!
Put your hands in the air. Give it up, LAPD. Don't make me chase you.
I'll try the back door. Wait here a second. Side window's been jimmied. Looks like somebody's creeped the joint.
You said I had to go back, Doctor.
The fires are cathartic. They allow you to confront your past.
You said the house would be empty.
Are you taking the medication I have prescribed?
You said the house would be empty. I heard them screaming.
The circumstances were unfortunate. My colleagues had made all the necessary
You
arrangements.
said the house would be empty. You're killing me.
The deaths were unfortunate, but you have dealt with death before. I want you to come to the clinic and we can deal
You said the house would be empty. How can I find peace?
All day about it, Phelps. I get nasty when I'm thirsty.
Burglar used a pry bar. Why did you kick the door in?
You think I'm gonna climb through a broken window in a $30 suit? You got another thing coming, Buster.
LAPD, are you acquainted with Celine Henry, Miss?
Horgan. Jennifer Horgan. I've known Celine for more than 10 years. Our children grew up together. What's going on, officer?
Did you see Mrs. Henry go out last night?
Well, I'm no busybody, you understand, but Celine had been drinking, and she and poor, long-suffering Jacob had a terrible row. I think Jacob may have given her a black eye. He stormed out, and she went back inside.
Did he come back?
No. Celine was listening to music and shouting until she left around 10 p.m. She was very drunk to have been driving. But she is not the sort of person you can stop from doing something when her dander is up. What is this about, officer? Is Celine all right?
I'm afraid Mrs. Henry has been murdered, ma'am.
Murdered? Oh, my God. I'm afraid I need to go and sit down.
Let's see what Jacob has to say for himself.
I don't think Jacob is our man, but we should see what he has to say.
Jacob Henry had a violent argument with his wife last night. He's looking more and more likely.
For my money, if the broad keeps the house looking like that, she probably deserved it. The skipper says bring him in and keep the hacks off our backs for a while.
Fine by me.
So it ain't the werewolf killer after all. Good to see you've come to your senses, Cole.
I always said work the evidence. I only stipulated a connection to the BD killer as an avenue of investigation we should leave open. And as far as I'm concerned, it still is.
You Jacob Henry?
Yeah. Who's asking?
LAPD. You're under arrest for the murder of your wife, Celine Henry.
Murder? Celine?
Save the dramatics.
Oh my God!
You got bigger problems.
What the hell are you talking about? You come in here, you tell me that Celine is...
Take a seat, Mr. Henry.
She's...
We're gonna have a look around. We'll talk.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
We're still gonna need you to come downtown, Mr. Henry.
We can get this all down on paper, Jacob. Now you got fed up with your wife, and now you figure
Kill my own wife?
It was a lush and a tramp, and you just couldn't stand it anymore.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
So now you're gonna tell me you loved her? The DA goes all gooey over remorse, Jacob.
You're not being rational. Wish me luck.
Buddies upstairs are dead. That leaves you, pal.
Oh, what's taking so long?
Just you and me. You can live to tell the tale. Fuck you! That's it. Fuck you! That's all of them.
We have a firm lead, Captain.
Are you questioning my judgment call, Phelps?
No, sir.
Good. I thought not. Jacob Henry is a sub-sister pushed around by his wife. I think with the right kind of persuasion, he might be prepared to seek absolution. Are you prepared to show him the error of his ways, young Phelps?
I don't think he's our man. Galloway agrees with me.
Don't drag me into this.
Galloway agrees with me.
Rusty is a practical policeman. A bird in hand is always worth two in the bush. Let's liberate a confession from poor Jacob and the public will sleep easier tonight. Run along now, Phelps. I've warmed them up nicely for you.
You did it. Everything points to you. What does Tex mean, Jacob?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I need a reason to believe you, Jacob.
You want a confession? That's what you want?
That's exactly what we want.
Seems to me there are two types of marriages. First, where the couple love each other equally and everything's roses. And then there's the other, where one person loves the other more than life itself and always puts them first. Chumps like me, who love them no matter what, no matter how badly they behave. That's it. That's my confession. I love my wife. And I'll take any test you got to prove it.
Your marriage was over. You took her in and she threw it back in your face. You didn't go over there to hurt her. It just got out of hand.
It's not how it was.
You're lying, Jacob. It was falling apart and things got violent.
I'm not lying. I'm telling you how it was.
Jenny Horgan says you blackened her eye.
It's all right, Jacob. The DA will understand. In your shoes, I would have done exactly the same thing.
I hit her, all right? I'm not proud of it, but she was coming at me with a frying pan. What would you do? Took it for years, but sometimes a man can only take so much.
Why did you break into your wife's house, Jacob? Why steal the ring?
What? What are you talking about? I've got a key. Why would I need to break in?
You took the ring because you found out who gave it to her.
What are you talking about?
Her prized garnet ring, given to her by her old boyfriend, Dick McCall.
I never knew that. I lived with that woman for 3 years, and I never knew that. Well, in that case, I think you should be talking to Dick McCall.
We'll do the detective work, lunkhead. Just answer the questions.
I'll see what I can do for you, Jacob. But I'm not promising. It still looks bad for you.
Phelps, You failed me, son.
We have another lead, Captain. This guy Mendez could be our man.
I hope so, Phelps. I really hope so. I'm deeply disturbed by your style of police work.
Alonzo Mendez. Sound like a man who moonlights as the werewolf?
Don't sound like a man I'd let my daughter anywhere near.
You've got a daughter.
Spend enough time drinking, Cole, you'll find yourself with any number of things you don't want when you're sober.
So that's why you never sober up.
Exactly. Help!
Consistent with Celine's injuries, and the blood can be typed.
We have the murder weapon. Better get Pinker down here.
Why keep it? Why not throw it away?
Think these clowns are geniuses? Thank your stars you caught a break. Captain Don will begin to like you.
Hey, what gives? LAPD, you're under arrest. Phelps, you gotta get me closer. Hit him, Cole. Spit him out.
I ain't saying a goddamn thing.
You did a grand job, lads. Phelps, that's quite a way to acquit yourself in your first outing as a homicide investigator. It seems the city has a new and vengeful guardian. Considering the evidence against your suspect and the thoroughness with which a report was compiled, I foresee a safe passage through the courts, and the DA agrees with me. Brutality on a scale such as this deserves retribution. The people and the press of this city demand it.
I need something to soothe this pain, to cool the lava you pump through my veins, 'cause I'm burning out for you.
Got it, Skipper. Yeah, I'll bring him. He's my partner, after all.
What have we got?
New case. White female dumped in plain sight in the grass at the end of Hill Street. Hacks are all over it. Captain's trying to fend them off.
That sounds awfully similar.
The first rule of police work is make no assumptions until you've seen the evidence. Skipper wants you to have your newspaper face on, college boy. Did a decent job on the Henry case, Phelps. Not bad for your first time at bat.
Thanks, Rusty.
Don't go getting ahead of yourself. That's one clearance under your belt. Now it's a new day with a new dead lady that needs our attention.
And no assumptions until we see the evidence, right?
Right. See, I knew you were a fast learner, Phelps. You might get along after all.
Now, boys, you know as much as I do. I'll be holding a press conference once the autopsy's been completed. I have two of my finest investigators on the case, fresh from bringing down the sword of justice on the crazed sex
Captain,
Alonzo
aren't there
Mendez.
similarities between this murder and the murder of Celine Henry? And of Elizabeth Short, for that
So you don't
matter.
believe there's a crazed sex killer at large preying on women?
Boys, be sensible. We have the greatest police force in all the world, with the greatest scientific investigators at our disposal. How can any killer continue to be that? Be advised. We keep the gas chamber at San Quentin primed for the sons of Cain who continue to believe they can take a life in the City of Angels.
Yeah, right. Any new leads in the Dahlia case?
Run along, boys, and let these officers get to work. We have God's work to do here, and it can't be delayed.
What do we have, Captain?
Another woman sacrificed. Speak to Carruthers. I want daily reports, gentlemen.
Similar MO.
To what? The Dahlia? I don't think so.
Celine Henry.
That's a closed case. This is probably another sad sack who lost his temper with a broad who wouldn't put out.
Are you a suspect, Rusty?
Watch your mouth, Phelps. All I'm saying is we got enough to do without reopening closed cases.
Talk me through it, Mal.
Severely battered, on display. Footprints would indicate that she has been stomped. Size of the footprints would seem to indicate a smallish men's shoe. What size shoe did Mendez wear?
You finished?
No, I'm not. At a glance, I would say strangulation is the cause of death. I'll need to do further tests for semen.
Angry boyfriend. If they were married, they'd be at home, not humping out here in Lover's Lane.
You mind if I examine the body?
Be my guest.
There still might be some play in the boyfriend angle.
I thought we were on our way to lock up the husband.
If he doesn't work out, that is.
Deirdre Muller has suffered enough. More than enough. You shouldn't make disparaging comments about her without even the slightest inkling of what she was like.
She was a woman, wasn't she? Well, around about my third divorce, I realized women might not be the pure angels we imagine. You're married, ain't you, Phelps?
Don't make any insinuations about my wife.
Hey, she's a woman.
She's the mother of my children.
You're a father, Cole? But don't tell me your eye don't bend.
This conversation is over.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. Is your father home?
He'll be home soon. He's been out looking for Mommy.
What's your name, miss?
Michelle Eloise Mahler?
Can we come in?
I suppose so.
Thank you. Could you have a seat for me, Michelle? We're going to have a look around. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Michelle, but your mother is dead. Do you think you could answer a few questions for us?
Could try.
When did you last see your mother?
Yesterday afternoon. I went to a dance at Belmont High. Mommy was supposed to pick me up, but she didn't show.
So what did you do then?
I was upset. Daddy came instead.
So you were hanging around the school for quite a while. What happened with your father?
I don't know. I called and called, and finally he answered. He came straight away then.
Some of your mother's jewelry was missing. Can you describe her things?
A ring, a watch. I never paid much attention to that stuff.
I know it's painful, Michelle, but this may be important. She wore a wedding ring?
Mommy chose it herself. A rose gold wedding band and a matching diamond and ruby engagement ring.
She wore a watch?
Yes, a yellow gold Elgin watch. Daddy bought it for her birthday. We had a fight. It was kind of a makeup present.
Your mom and dad are happily married?
What are you saying? Of course they are.
They weren't happy, were they, Michelle? Did your father ever hit your mother?
Just the once. She said she would leave him if he ever did it again. He bought her a brooch pin to make up for it. And he always wore her golden butterfly.
Thanks, Miss Muller. You've been very brave.
Hey! What gives?
Daddy, the police
Go to your
are
room,
here.
please, Michelle. I'll talk to the police.
Daddy, Mommy is gone.
Go to your room, young lady. She's not even out of school. You can't come in here interrogating her like she's
Your
some
wife
kind
was
of...
found murdered this morning.
Found? What? But she only...
We have some questions that we would like to ask you.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'll do my best.
What size shoe do you wear, Mr. Muller?
Why do you ask?
It's routine, sir. Simple process of elimination.
9s, I think.
Why are you lying to me, Mr. Muller?
Why would I lie to you at a time like this?
That's funny. The work boots we found here are size 8s. Why lie about it if you've got nothing to hide?
Because I always get teased about the size of my feet. You know, small feet, small...
Always been true in my experience.
So you were here all night. You stayed in while your wife went out to pick up your daughter?
Yes, that's correct.
You should come clean if you're having an affair or if there's something going on.
I told you I was here. Were you saying I wasn't?
So why did you take so long to answer the phone when your daughter called?
Okay, I went out for a while. I was driving around. It's my way of relaxing.
Wife was beaten and then strangled. In your case, you have no alibi and a history of violence towards your wife.
That's not true, God damn it.
It is true, Hugo. You're a violent man. You try to keep a lid on it at home, but sometimes you lost control. Your daughter and your wife were scared of you.
You don't know anything about me.
I know about the golden butterfly, Hugo, and how you bought your wife off the last time you heard her.
She liked to spend money, all right? Dresses, jewelry, her hair. It drove me goddamn crazy. Do I look like a Rockefeller?
Nobody likes a cheapskate, Hugo.
Getting hostile with us is a very bad idea, Hugo.
I'm no murderer.
Make some arrangements for your daughter, and then present yourself to Central Station for questioning.
You gotta be kidding me, Phelps. Put the cuffs on it.
This is an outrage. I didn't kill my wife.
Your daughter is in the next room, Muller, so I'm giving you a break. Don't make me change my mind, and don't make me come looking for you.
I heard the terrible news over the radio.
And you can help us with our inquiries?
Yes, sir. They had a row last night. I heard Mrs. Muller screaming.
Did you see Mrs. Muller come home late last night at all?
No, not at all. I did see Mr. Muller put something in the incinerator earlier this morning, though.
I told you he was our guy. Now let's get this bum downtown and into a cell.
Look, there he is now.
They've been talking about on the radio? Step away from the incinerator. Don't let him get away.
Okay, but no shooting. We need this guy to make the case.
This doesn't look good, Hugo.
I can explain the blood.
Get him booked in at Central, officer. Then put him in an interview room. We'll be speaking with him later. And inform the cat.
Yes, sir, Detective.
Is there someone you can call, miss?
I don't want home and
You need somewhere to stay, Michelle. You have other family? Grandparents? Aunts or uncle?
call Aunt Helen, but she lives in Bakersfield and
Call her. We're gonna get someone down here from Juvenile Hall to talk to you in the meantime.
We ought to get some uniforms down here, clean up. Take care of the kid.
Saturday's the spring unveiling, Emmy. It's the first season since fabric rationing's over. We have to go.
I told you I can't Saturday. I'm busy.
Busy where? You're going on another drive with Davy Gardner, aren't you?
So what if I am?
Go, Phelps. I'll take the car and see if I can cut him off.
Car 11K, come in.
11K, go ahead.
11K, see the janitor. A green 1946 coupe registered to a Mrs. Hugo Moeller has been found in the parking lot adjoining the Belmont High School and playing fields. 11K, code 2.
What's your name?
Who's asking?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Name's Eli Rooney.
You've been in trouble with the law before, Eli?
Some.
What are you doing around here?
I like to keep an eye on the children.
Strictly paternal, is it, Eli?
Don't sass me, boy.
A woman was abducted here last night, Eli, and murdered.
And I would love to make you for that, you Okie motherfucker.
Well, I wouldn't know nothing about that. A woman, you say? I like 'em a little younger than that.
Turn out your pockets, Eli.
Now, why would I do that?
Because I'm about to break your fucking skull, Eli.
You're under arrest, Eli. You're in very deep trouble. Get some backup down here, Rusty. We need to get this one downtown and into a cell.
I'll tell them we got a kitty raper coming in. They can roll out the red carpet.
What time did you see the person park the car?
Late last night, after school social, maybe 1 a.m. I've been keeping a good eye out lately. We've had problems with the child molester.
Eli Rooney. We've met him.
Filthy son of a bitch. He was here yesterday before the dance.
Was it him you saw park the car?
I don't know, sir. I'd like to say yes, but the truth is it was pretty dark.
Would you say Rooney is violent?
Yes, sir. I would say so, yes.
Thanks for your help. Blood and skin samples. We better get Ray Pinker out here.
I say we make Rooney for this. I think we should lay it on him. He was near the car, he had her jewelry, the DA will love him for it.
Even if he didn't do it?
Who cares whether he did it? You have kids, Phelps? He needs to be taken permanently out of harm's way.
Can we let Mueller slide?
For a while. He gets a free pass for now.
I don't know about this. My gut says Mueller. We caught him trying to destroy evidence in his backyard, and that was his car with the bloody tools in it.
I never said it wasn't Mueller. Hell, he probably killed his wife, deprived that poor kid of a mother. But he's not an immediate danger to anyone else. Rooney's a threat to every kid.
He's a peeper mister. We can pick him up for something else.
Really want to run that risk?
Boys.
Captain, we were on our way to interview Eli Rooney.
Yes, Phelps, I know. This particular fiend is an old acquaintance. I have tried to reaffirm his belief in a wrathful and terrible God. Whichever way it goes, I'll be dealing personally with him.
You look like you've had it rough.
You see me asking for your sympathy, boy?
You down on your luck, Eli?
I've had worse. My family ate roadkill during the Dust Bowl.
But you have a job. A parolee has to have a job, correct?
I had me a job down in San Pedro. I'm looking for something new.
You better not be lying to me, Eli. If I send an officer down there to find out and it turns out you wasted his time...
Hell, I ain't lying. That ain't worth lying over.
Sorry. Sometimes you have to shake the tree to see what falls out. This place you worked have a name?
Hennessy Marine. You can't miss the place. Big yellow letters, HM out front.
They give you any workwear, Eli?
Sure. Green coverall. Dang thing was hot. Felt like I was back in the pen wearing it.
You ever tie up any of your victims, Eli?
It's not a nice thing to go calling them.
What would you call them?
I can't say. I learned a long time ago not to go talking about the things I like. Talking about it just seems to get people's dander up.
Answer the goddamn question, Rooney, before I brain you.
See what I mean? Short answer is yes.
You have any preference regarding rope, Eli?
I know a good rope from a bad rope, if that's what you mean. That's not what you mean, is it? Any old rope will do me fine.
Farm boy like you, Eli, must prefer McGay for roping. Am I right?
I prefer braid. Tie, hitch, and braid. It stays tied.
You killed Mrs. Moeller and stole her jewelry.
That ain't so. I ain't done nothing like that.
You're a liar, Eli. You needed the money, so you killed her.
I've been around some, son. You got some evidence that proves I stole that butterfly from that woman?
Looks like I made a mistake. You have no job and nowhere to live by the smell of things, and you need money. You've been in trouble before, Eli. Who do you think a jury will believe?
I've been in trouble for other things, but I ain't never killed no one. I saw that car coming to the parking lot late last night. Man got changed there and then put his coveralls in the trunk. I saw him drop the butterfly in the lamplight and he strolled out, cool as you like. And I went over and I picked it up.
You're as good as done, Mr. Rooney. All it will take now is some paperwork.
For my money, Hugo Moeller's our #1 suspect. The evidence is solid. I think it's time we hit him with it.
Here's where we stand, Hugo. Your next-door neighbor heard screaming coming from your house. You were burning your blood-stained shoes. You have no one who can confirm your whereabouts last night. Your daughter says you're a violent man. We have everything we need to send you to death row, and all you have to say for yourself is, I didn't do it.
I swear I didn't kill her. Give me that lie test. I can prove it.
Why did you burn your shoes, Hugo?
Because I knew you'd never believe me.
You're full of shit, Hugo. You want us to feel sorry for you? We feel sorry for your wife. The blood came from the wound in your wife's head.
Why would I lie? You can check at the workshop.
Sorry. My mistake. Believe what?
It's rabbit's blood. A guy at work brought him in and I helped him skin them.
you know anything about ropes, Hugo?
As much as the next man. I was a scout. I learned some more in the Army.
Your wife was strangled with a braided rope, which we found in the trunk of her car. I think you bought that rope specifically to strangle her.
You can think whatever you want. But that rope has nothing to do with me.
You're off the hook, for now. You learned to strangle with the rope in the Army?
With rope, with my bare hands, but mainly with wire. I learned a lot of things in the Army, but I still didn't kill my wife.
For argument's sake, what type of rope would you use?
If I had to, I would use a triple braid. Less flex, easier to control.
Your wife was beaten with a tire iron, Hugo. An appropriate choice of tool for a mechanic.
I know nothing about any tire iron.
You're lying, Hugo. You're gonna have to come clean on this.
You got no proof.
Your wife drove a Chevrolet, Hugo. What make of car do you drive?
A Chrysler Airflow.
So I guess that explains why the tire iron that killed your wife came from a Chrysler. We found your wife's car. Someone parked it at the school late last night. Do you have anything to say about that?
It wasn't me.
Where do you keep your work clothes?
I keep them at work in my locker.
Enough lies, Hugo. Your overalls put you at the scene of the crime last night.
My overalls are in the laundry of my house.
Green overalls, bloodstained, with the initials HM found in the trunk of your wife's car.
They can't be mine.
Why, Hugo? Because if they were yours, they'd be in the incinerator too?
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Eli Rooney, I'm charging you with the first-degree murder of Deirdre Muller.
You want to put me back in the stir that badly, boy? You go ahead and try. I'll beat that rap. I ain't a killer.
Phelps, Galloway, congratulations are at hand. Drink, boys? I think you'll receive a commendation for this one, gentlemen. In the meantime, I'll speak to the DA about expediting the passage of the case. We need swift and merciless justice for poor Deirdre.